the moment, more than 2 in 5 first home buyers aren't actually even buying a property. And it can be crazy frustrating because every 3 months, the bank's gonna be ringing you up and trying to renew that pre-approval.
Elephant. Who the f has the goddamn gall to call his house on a Tuesday night?
And you're gonna spend Saturdays going back and forth, looking at different places, getting excited, getting your hopes up to miss out. So in this video, we're gonna go through at what point should you actually get a pre-approval. And spoiler alert, you're all getting it wrong. I was reading an article in the Financial Review this week that was talking about pre-approvals and the amount of first home buyers that just get frustrated and end up not being able to find the right place. And it got me thinking, when is the right time to get a pre-approval? The banks will always pressure you into it. And unfortunately, I see it every day where I'll sit down with some first home buyers, chat through the situation, and they're like, well, I need a pre-approval. You know, the bank told me I should get one, the agent's telling me I should get one, and the reality is it's just not true. In a lot of cases, getting the pre-approval isn't the problem. The problem is finding the right home, and that's ultimately down to you. So let me take you through a couple of tips in helping you find the right place. So number one is still having that conversation with a broker, working out that you've got enough borrowing capacity, that you've got enough deposit, you know, just making sure your situation checks out and the bank will actually approve you for the loan. Number two in that conversation is working out what your buffer is. So one thing that the banks will love to do is give you a pre-approval. They'll tell you, yep, you've got literally your 5% or your 8% deposit. And they'll tell you, yeah, you've literally got enough deposit to the dollar to buy a place, but what about having a bit of a buffer? What happens if you want to go on holidays? You want to deck out the place, maybe you want to put some paint on the walls. You need to have a bit of a buffer there, and it comes down to your personal situation. So getting a pre-approval isn't going to solve that. You need to know how much extra. I usually suggest having at least 3 months buffer for your loan repayments, just in case you want to go on holidays or you want some extra cash left over. My next tip would be focus on one suburb. The other thing I see almost every week is some hopeful first home buyers will come in, I'll sit down with them and I'll say, well, where are you looking? And they'll list off the whole city. They'll say, yeah, I'm looking on the north side of Brisbane, which basically includes 300 suburbs. And it's just too much. Logistically, you're gonna be running around from one side of town to the other and it's just painful. And practically, you're not gonna know what to pay in those suburbs. And you're also gonna miss out on opportunities. So my suggestion is focus on one suburb. You'll get to understand how much the 3-bedroom houses are selling for, what a good price is, what a bad price is, and ultimately help with your negotiation when you find the right place. You'll also know, how close stuff is to bus stops, train stations, to the shops, and even in some suburbs, there's kind of nicer areas than not. So you want to be in those sort of golden triangle areas. So that will come down to your research and getting to know that one suburb. The next thing to think about in terms of your pre-approval timing is say when your lease is up or significant dates for you coming up. I saw it a lot before Christmas where people run out like, I need to get pre-approved, but then ultimately you're on the timer for 3 months and you might end up taking a month off over Christmas, stuff shuts down, there's school holidays coming up, and you end up wasting a month or 2 months of that 3-month pre-approval window. It just goes out the window. So look at the significant dates. If your lease is expiring in 8 months, then maybe it's a bit too early to get pre-approved. Maybe you want to get your pre-approval closer to that date. And the last reason why I think you shouldn't rush out and get your pre-approval is ultimately the lending market is really fluid. There's new product and offers coming out all the time. And if you got pre-approved with your bank 12 months ago and it keeps rolling and refreshing every few months, you might not have the best deal on the market. So if you can time it better, you can review it closer to, you're gonna get a better deal and a better situation overall. So at what point should you get your pre-approval? It really comes down to your situation, but I think until you've got that one suburb picked out and you've got your list down, it's too early. The bank's obviously gonna push you and tell you to get your pre-approval now and get you signed up because ultimately they get you on the hook and they hook you, line and sinker. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, trying something new with the gimbal. I don't know, I got it. Something different. Tell me what you think, would love to know. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.